Safari. Hope we're ready for an animal adventure.
Do you want to be in the end so you can see?
Alright.
Make sure you run the lines, get your closing. And watch your hands the other way.
Sorry,
Doors are slide closed. Cool. Alright, you're off there.
Alright, thank you. Let's go.
You can see all the
Yep.
My name is Matt, your driver for Safari through the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Now, friends, I do need to ask first and foremost everybody to remain fully seated for me at all times. Be sure to keep those hands and feet inside the vehicle. Now, we'll be traveling through lots of rough brush, and quite a few of those bushes do have some pretty long thorns. So please make sure you don't stand up and you don't lean out of the truck. That's very, very important. If y'all look right up above you, you'll notice an animal spotting guide. That's definitely going to help identify some of the animals we might find out there. Probably won't see every single animal that's up there on that guide, but I'll certainly do my best to find as many as I can. Y'all are, of course, more than welcome to take as many photos as you like. In fact, I do highly recommend having your cameras out ready to go. Put them on maybe a sports or an action setting. Any setting with a nice fast shutter speed is going to do the trick for you, because we're going to be moving. The animals around us are going to be moving as well. So having that camera out and at the ready is going to help you out quite a bit. We're going to be headed deep into an area known as the Little Aturi Forest. The animals in the forest blend in quite well with their surroundings. They have wonderful natural camouflage that actually helps them stay hidden out in the dense vegetation. Sometimes we don't see them till they're right next to us or right beside us, but that's why it's good to have that camera out and at the ready.
Oh, look,
Over to our right side there, you can see an okapi. The okapi has those black and white stripes on their legs, makes them look like they might be related to the zebra. They're actually the only known relative of the giraffe. Now, the way we know they're related to the giraffe, they have the same skull structure, same long tongue, same number of vertebrae. They do share a good bit of DNA.
They have long
Also coming up on our right side here, there's some bongos. Bongos are also known as the ghosts of the forest. They get that nickname because they blend in quite well. And they can actually move through the forest without making much noise at all.
They are.
Now, bongos are sadly an endangered species due to deforestation. Their habitat's being taken away, their numbers are falling about as quickly as the trees around them.
Yeah.
And all that we can to ensure that they and their habitat are up for quite a long time.
Looks like it.
I do see quite a young one over here to our left.
Yeah.
Over here.
I don't know if we can see that.
Yeah, cute. Oh my god.
Up on the hill to our left, there's a black rhino laying down behind that big down tree up there. Now, black rhinos weigh about 3,000 pounds. They can charge about 35 miles an hour. We're very, very fortunate to be able to spot a black rhino because sadly there's fewer than 5,000 of them left total on Earth. They are poached or illegally hunted for the longhorns that grow on their face, and at least fewer rhinos here in Africa every single day. Very sad to say. Poaching is a big problem for rhinos and lots of other animals as well, but we'll talk about that a little bit later on probably.
What'd she say?
I think we're going to head down toward the Safi River. I haven't been to the river in a couple weeks, but last time I was down that way I was able to spot some hippos. We'll see, maybe we can find a hippo or two this time around. As we get to the bottom of the hill,
sunbathing over there.
when we start to cross the river, I do see 2 hippos out there on the bank. Now they tip the scales at about 5,500 pounds.
Where? Oh yeah, I see it right there.
Upwards of 100 pounds of vegetation every single day.
Look at them, they're huge.
They are nocturnal, so seeing them sleeping during the day is not that rare.
Usually they're in the water.
Several more to our left side as well.
Oh, here's some
That's
in
what
the
you call
water.
a bloat of hippos. So they infer a group.
Can you see them in the water, Madeline?
They can hold their breath for about
tree?
8 minutes or so. You never really know when they're going to come up for fresh air. Pink-backed pelicans on the islands down there as well. They get their name for a pink coloration they get in their feathers only during their mating season.
But then they only change during the mating season? Oh, that's a wilderness trek. That's a.
Down to our left side there,
Or
you
you
see
can-
quite a few more hippos on the island there.
There's one right
Now they
down
look
here.
big, but they're not slow.
Here, sit down so
You're
Madeline
around
can see.
25 miles per
Madeline,
hour.
lean over. Look, there's some over here.
Oh, make sure you remain seated for me, please.
See the crocs?
Bridge here, look down to your left side. You see some Nile crocodiles. Now, Nile crocs
Lean
are about
back so
18 to
Madeline
20 feet in length. It's about
Can
as
you see
long
the
as
crocodiles,
a giraffe is tall.
Madeline?
They have 2,000 pounds per square inch by force and they're very powerful jaws. If they stay perfectly still underwater, they can hold their breath for about 2 hours. And they can actually run about 10 miles per hour on land. A little bit faster than the shark city goes. So we're going to keep moving.
Water coming across.
So which ones have we seen?
We're headed towards the savannah, my personal favorite area.
Ooh.
Reserve.
Savannah.
There's a tree.
This is where they have those big termite hills.
Yep.
Now the savannah actually stretches for hundreds of miles and it's home to millions of animals. Home to some of your favorites like giraffes, elephants, zebras, and quite a few more. But this right here, my friends, is the wild and beautiful Africa we're fighting so hard to conserve and protect here at Harambe.
Yeah.
Out to our right side here, you see several springbok. Springbok
Oh,
are
yeah?
small antelopes, stand a little under 3 feet tall, weigh a little less than 100 pounds each.
Huh.
They are quite small. They're one of the top 10 fastest land animals on Earth. They run about 55 miles per
There's
hour.
one running over here.
Yep. See it running?
Looks like Clemmy.
The donkeys.
Some water buck up ahead here. Water buck are pretty sedentary antelope. They actually don't wander very far from their closest water source. They're also very nearly waterproof. Their skin secretes an oil that covers their fur. Really keeps them from getting wet when they wade into the water.
See the red thing sticking up? It's going to tighten up those.
Pack of African wild dogs over here to our left side, also known as the painted
Wow,
dog.
look at them.
They're the #1 hunter here in Africa. They're more successful than lions, hyenas, and cheetahs, so they are at the top of the food chain. Has a lot to do with their ability to track their prey till it collapses from exhaustion. In the pink, you gotta sit down for me, princess. Thank you. They're crepuscular animals, like I said. But even with that that short span of activity, they still maintain the #1 spot. When you think about it, lions that are able to hunt all night and cheetahs that hunt during the day means they have to be pretty good at what they do to be able to beat those two. They're actually very strategic hunters, and some of their instinctual hunting strategies have been adopted by military forces all over the world.
Yeah, see the giant termite hill?
Hill.
Yeah, those are termite hills.
Where's termites again? Eat wood. Chris,
What?
do termites eat wood?
Yeah, they eat a bunch of stuff.
Straight ahead of us here on the hill, there's some giraffes grazing from the tree. The giraffes are the tallest animals on Earth. They stand 18 to 20 feet tall. Spend a good majority of their day eating, about 20 hours a day.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't leave
Yeah.
much time for anything else, but that's okay. They only
See 'em
sleep
up there?
about 30 minutes a day total. I see at least 4 of them up there right now, so that's a good-sized tower. Tower's a name for a group of giraffes. Easy bird because they're so tall. White-bearded wildebeest over here to our right side. They're actually the second most densely populated mammal on Earth, second only to people. Yeah, their groupings can reach close to the size of some of our major cities, at least when we're talking population. They're also commonly referred to as the gnu. That's spelled G-N-U. That's for the grunting noises they make when they communicate.
Oh, look at more up there on the house.
They're the same ones.
Oh, they're just...
Yeah.
You may, just for a quick second, another good look at a couple of giraffes up there grazing from the trees out to our left. Maybe even back over your shoulder there. Yeah, you can see a couple up there.
See the elephant?
Over to our
See the
right
elephant?
side, you can see a young elephant there. You can figure that's a
See
young
right there?
male because he's all by himself. Males will leave the herd once they reach adulthood, about age 13. They get a little too rambunctious for the rest of the group, so they go off.
See him washing himself with the dirt? Did you see that?
They live in solitude?
I think so. I don't know what's that saying. That must be a food thing hanging.
Now we're going to see if maybe we can find some more elephants a little bit farther ahead in the reserve, but it could take us a while to get there. My shortcut got closed because of the rain we had the other day, washed out the bridge, so we're going to have to go over this old bridge here. Happens to be the oldest bridge on the reserve. Old Foley Timbo crossing here. We're just going to have to see what we can do. I think we're going to be alright though. Looks like they made all the repairs recently, replaced all the boards and stuff, so I think we'll be alright. Oh,
Uh-oh.
Oh no!
Oh!
To the right! To the right! Okay, I think we're gonna make it. I think we're gonna be okay. Just hang on tight, you guys. Don't move.
Is that part of it?
I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
That was close.
I don't want to go too long.
Malin just looks at me. Is that part of it?
Oh, I do see some more elephants
Oh,
over here
yeah.
on our left side. So we have found a herd. Now, of course, elephant herds consist of adult females and their young offspring. Like I said, males will leave the herd once they reach adulthood, about age 14 or so.
Yeah, well, no, there's
Now,
one right
14 is actually the second longest adolescence of any mammal. Longest belongs to humans because, you know, sometimes our children never want to grow up or leave home. But elephants do have its beat in one area. They do have the longest gestation period of any mammal on Earth. Lasts almost 2 full years, 22 months, and after all that time they give birth to about a 250-pound calf. I see a calf down by the water up ahead of us there, so we're going to see if maybe we can get a little bit closer. Now on the way you might also notice that both male and female elephants here in Africa grow those long tusks. Unfortunately though, tusks are quite a burden to bear, as they are made of ivory, and ivory is a pretty hot commodity on the black market. Now, poaching for elephant ivory is at quite a high rate. Doing all that we can to stop the sale and trade of ivory worldwide, so we can stop the poaching of those elephants as well. It's most definitely an uphill battle. We're doing our best to keep them safe and protected day to day. Now, we're going to try to get real close to this young one here. I will ask that we refrain from any sudden outbursts, just so that we don't scare her away. When they're little like that, their hearing is pretty sensitive. So I'm just going to be quiet here, and we're going to observe this little one.
Is it?
Where'd she go?
Oh, there's, yep, by the
right
base
there.
of the tree.
Can you see? Sit back somehow. Wow. She's cool.
Look at this big guy, too.
It looks like she's smiling, doesn't it?
That was cool, huh?
That was cute.
I did not like the point.
Down to our left side here, you can see a flamboyance of greater flamingo. They're called the greater flamingo because they're the tallest of the species. They also happen to be the lightest shade of flamingo pink. Flamingos are actually born gray. It takes around 2 years for them to turn pink on the brine shrimp they eat in the water where they live.
There's a duck. Who said they want to see a duck?
Yep, Sawyer, there's your duck.
That was a pretty incredible few moments with a new life like that out here on the reserve. Especially one that takes almost 2 years to come into this world, and kind of puts perspective on the fact why it's so hard to repopulate the elephant species. Mom and the rest of the herd have to survive up to 2 years for that little one to be born, and then that baby has to make it to full maturity to be able to kind of start the life cycle all over again.
Yep.
Over to our left side here, you can see a white rhino and some addax. Addax are some antelope from the Sahara Desert. Their coat actually changes color based on the season. In the cooler months, they're a light brown, but can go almost to a black shade on their coat. Helps them absorb sunlight, stay warm. In the warmer months, they're a light tan, almost white. Helps them stay cool. Now, white rhinos, a little bit bigger than their cousin, the black rhino we briefly talked about before. About 2,000 pounds larger, so they're about 5,000 pounds each.
Just waiting to see Jim Carrey bust out of the back of one of them.
Also victim to poaching. The whole reason that any rhino is taken by poachers, their horn is mistakenly thought to have medicinal properties. It's made of the same exact thing that our hair and fingernails are made out of. It's called keratin. So there's no medicinal property to it whatsoever.
I saw that the girl had that coming into the car.
Yeah, it is up on the
That's the
line.
only big cat that cannot retract their long claws. Now, cheetahs have phenomenal eyesight, so they typically hunt during the day. Most other big cats tend to rely on their sense of smell, and they'll hunt at night instead.
Oh, another one over here too.
Oh, look, this one's getting
Oh, yeah, another one moving around a little bit closer to us here.
Right here under this tree.
Flo, you see it? Yeah? Right there.
Wow.
Are you afraid?
No.
No.
They're wild animals.
So do they know to not hurt you?
Not really.
Up ahead of us here, we'll pull up to a large rock formation known as a kopie. Lion prides love to make their homes on kopies, but I'll tell you, it's quite rare to see lions during the day. They're inactive 18 to 20 hours a day. They do all their activity at night. So to spot one when the sun's up doesn't happen very often. Doesn't necessarily mean they're sleeping that whole 18 to 20 hours a day, but they're definitely not doing anything important.
See the bones?
Oh, I see some more white rhinos coming up ahead of us, but we're going to get another view of them, I think, in just a few moments. Also some Bontebok and Grant zebras over there. Bontebok, those small brown animals, are a member of the wildebeest family. Unfortunately, they're officially extinct in the wild. No longer exist outside of reserves like this one. And some zebras. Grant zebras, also known as the common zebra. Not like your fingerprint no two zebras striped patterns are identical. But zebras have enough force in their legs to break in a lion's jaw.
The lion's sleeping right here.
2, 3 lions up there on the rocks.
Its tail?
Now, lions are inactive, like I said, for most of the day, so they'll be much more active after the sun goes down. Most lion prides consist of just one adult male, like the big one all the way in the back, and 6 to 8 adult females, like the two a little bit closer to us there. The females do the majority of the hunting for the pride, about 90% of the hunting, while the male protects the territory and the cubs.
Wonder what lives in those holes. Oh. Is that a dog or a
Down the
tree?
hill here.
Is that a dog or a branch?
Another good look at those zebras, and 3 more white rhinos walking away from us there.
Yeah.
Another zebra right here.
Group of rhinos like that's known as a crash. And typically white rhinos are the only ones you'll see in a group like that. Has a lot to do with their ability to run about 40 miles per hour and a little bit to do with their very poor eyesight.
Yeah?
Why they had short legs? They got to carry all that weight.
They call a group of, you know, like it's a crash of rhino. A pride of rhino.
You might do. But we're not getting any steps right now.
Over here on our left side, you can see some scimitar horned oryx. They're antelope from the desert. And because they're from such an arid climate, not a lot was known about their hydration habits. So recently, there was about a 2.5-year-long study conducted on specifically their ability to stay hydrated. They actually figured out that they can go about 9 months at a time without any water.
Wow.
They get all the moisture that they need from plants that they eat, at least during that time. So they only seek out water maybe 2 times per year. Now, another one of the research groups was recently doing a study on the vocal patterns of all the different elephant herds we've been able to find out here on Harambe, and they actually figured out, after about 3.5 years, that elephants are deathly afraid of bees. Now, it sounds a little funny, but we're actually going to put that to really good use, protecting elephants who are being attacked by farmers after they've been eating the farmers' crops. It's a pretty widespread problem here in Kenya and in Tanzania, close by, really all of East Africa. It was taking quite a toll on the elephant population as a whole. So, we're actually able to design and implement a beehive barrier system. It goes around the farmlands, and just the sound of the bees will help scare the elephants far away. They'll never return to the same spot twice. They do have an excellent memory of things they experience. The bees also pollinate the farmer's crop, extremely important to the growing process, and the farmers can jar and sell the elephant-safe honey as a bit of a bonus. So really it's a nice win-win for everybody. But conservation efforts like that one and many more being used all over the world are funded by the Disney Conservation Fund. Fund works directly with reserves like Harambe all over the world, protecting millions of animals like the ones we've just seen. 100% of the proceeds from the fund go directly toward the animals and their care, and Disney will match any donation that you make dollar for dollar. If you'd like to find out more, you can do so at any Disney retail location or resort. I highly recommend it. Now, friends, here at Harambe, we don't like to say goodbye. Instead, we use an old Swahili phrase, kwaherini. That means go well. Kwaherini, folks. Have a great rest of your day. Come back and see us again. Kwaherini.